It's YouTube, baby.
Nice added sound effects.
Yeah. So there was a convention in the old Decatur area this weekend. It was called the Midwest Comics and Toy Festival. And it was in the Decatur Conference Center. And I was like, oh, this would be neat. And they had posted earlier, like, what are y'all excited? What all do you want to see? They posted on their Facebook and I commented. I'm like, I would love some Godzilla toys and some Pokemon games for my dear pal Jake, and the Fire Emblem game. Yeah, I mentioned that. They're like, oh, we won't for sure. I don't think we're gonna, can't make any promises about that Fire Emblem game, but we are gonna have Pokemon games as far as the eye can see, and Godzilla toys will be there. That was the promise that was made. And so I get there. It starts at 10. I was a little behind schedule, and because I took Hallie for a walk and I wanted to shower afterwards. And like the line is like, think of like George Perez and Marv Wolfman's line. It was about twice as long as that for a Decatur con. And it's just because they didn't know what the hell they were doing as far as running a con. Because they had one person taking the money and then he'd get up and put the wristbands on you.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't very good that way,
So how long
but
did it take you to get in?
probably about an hour.
Ugh,
And
dude.
so then I was about done. Like mom and dad and Dominic, my nephew, and then my brother showed up like later. I was about done in 15 minutes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was like because there was one booth that had comics and they had some good stuff, but then like the stuff that I would be more interested in would have been like the cheaper stuff because that's like about where that Fantastic Four that I'm trying to collect's at. But the problem is none of the cheaper stuff was alphabetized, which it's like I get that. I mean, I get it. I'm not saying
No, I
I
don't get
do.
it.
I've been to a con with you as a comic headquarters booth, babe, and you had your like, cheap comics that were just in boxes that, from when you guys got the shop. They weren't alphabetized yet at that point.
Not perfectly, but all A's were together at that time and
Oh,
B's
okay.
and so on. It just wasn't
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I get it. It was just frustrating, and then I was like, oh, I'm not, and like there wasn't much con etiquette for the people. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, you're breathing on me. I don't like this. And then as far as Godzilla goes, there was none, not a one Godzilla toy. A lot of GI Joe, and like that's cool, but
Well, they both start with G. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah. Like that was like the big thing, but there was like a lot of Funko Pops. But my God, I don't know anyone that still collects Funko Pops. They kind of went the ways of Beanie Babies.
hmm
And then as far as Pokemon games go, they had cards, but not a one Pokemon game. But they did have Fire Emblem. I'm kidding. They didn't have that either.
Oh man. So like how many booths were there?
It was hard to tell because it was like a small conference center. So it was probably
I mean, was it like the size of the time you came and was the booth babe for us? Or was it smaller than
I'd
that?
say it was smaller and there was less comic books there. Like there was the one booth and then there was this one booth that had like a few movies and like ran it looked like someone was cleaning out their storage unit and they had comic books, but none of them were organized. They weren't in bags, they weren't boarded. It was just sitting there. And like there was some neat stuff in there. There was, like, but
That's
I
fine
don't
if they're like a dollar or less, I
I
think.
think that's about what they were, but I'm like, again, crowding people that don't understand how, you should act. And it was just, yeah, it just wasn't working for me. So I was not enjoying myself there. And then I'm trying to think, like, there was a lot of crafty people, which I'm just not a fan of. And then, like, if you make eye contact with them, they're like, I need to show you what I made. It's like,
hmm
please don't. And then there was one douchebag. I fucking hate this. If you're playing music at a con, like there's a special layer of hell for you. And this was a booth that just had two big fucking speakers and was just blaring the shittiest music you've ever heard. Like one of the things was like they took a lemon grab from Adventure Time saying unacceptable. They took that and made it into like I don't know, like dubstep or EDM type, mashup thing.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's
wasn't
that's
wasn't a fan.
really bad.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. But like
It's
Nick
different
and
at C2E2, where the place is a mile long and a
yeah,
mile high, and the sound isn't just right there.
yeah. And it's like Nick and Dom and they both had fun. Dad was like let down. But so it's like I'm glad they had a good time.
Yeah, yeah, that's too bad, man. If it's their first year, I give something like that the benefit of the doubt, you know.
Especially with like they didn't know how much interest there was going to be, and there was a fuck ton of interest, and that's either going to hurt them next year because there was a fuck ton of interest of people being like, "Oh, this is shit," or there's a fuck ton of interest of people being like, "Oh, I actually liked it. I'm going to come back for sure," that type of
Mm.
thing.
Or at least people like us that have the sense of they didn't know what they were doing. We'll give it one
Yeah,
more shot.
yeah,
Because yeah, if they're like, oh, everybody showed up, let's make this a lot bigger, and then those people don't come back, they just
yeah,
lost a shit ton of money.
yeah. And then there was it was so weird. It was very much like C2E2 this way, where like there was a cosplay contest, and like some of it was like you're like, "Oh wow, this is awesome." And I never really put two and two together with the people that do like the Star Wars cosplays where like I mean it makes sense that they can't see for shit, but it was hilarious because this like little kid goes up to this Darth Vader and he's like, I love you. Like you're the coolest. I want to take a picture with you. And Darth Vader just kind of looking at G.I. Joe. And then the Mandalorian that's with him like actually had that visibility. He's like, hey, this kid's trying to talk. He's like, oh, hey,
That's funny. Well, I don't know. So would you go back if they do it again?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, dude, no joke. I could have like I didn't know how far away the conference center was, but it was 5 minutes a drive. I should have rode my bike. Like that's how close it is. So yeah, hell yeah, I'd go back.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't ride your bike if you knew there was going to be Godzilla stuff for you to carry back.
I'll just take my little backpack. My little backpack.
I'm picturing you riding your bike with your Godzilla toys and you fall over.
I love that.
Oh gosh.
It's hilarious. There's this girl that I found out about just because they were promoting her, but she's like this weird like cosplay clown porn girl, and she was the one that was heading up the cosplay contest. Because like they're like, oh, we got I think it's like panda rice or some shit like that, and it's just like this is like a weird fetish that I don't want awakened in me.
And also, does it really deserve to win over some of these incredible
Well, no, she
costumes?
was the judge. They
Oh,
were
she was
like,
the
yeah,
judge.
they're
I
like,
gotcha.
yeah, we need to bring you in because you're affordable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that. Yeah, that makes sense. Every con has the cosplay judge for
Yeah.
sure.
But it's like where C2E2 gets like famous ones, we get
Like
clown
Yaya
porn
Han,
star. Yeah.
right? Yeah. So, I mean, did you end up buying anything at all?
No, I didn't. Dom got a couple things and Nick got a couple things, and then Dad bought some like craft notebooks so he can write down. It's the funniest thing. His seed totals whenever we're doing planting. So he's like, oh, he knows he put Pioneer seed here and LG here. I'm like, you're probably the only fucking person that has bought a notebook at a convention that's doing that with
Right. Yeah.
it.
Just for farming. That's great. All right. Well, ready for the regular episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, wait. Let's do a Mad Lib.
Yeah,
I
let's do
have
it.
I have the book out.
Did my fart pick up on the
I
recording?
think it did a little bit. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Okay. It's called Driving Lesson. I need a color.
Orange.
An adverb.
Um,
Hurriedly.
yeah, let's go hurriedly.
A noun.
Orange.
Okay, a different noun.
Damn it. I was like, this is gonna be really funny. Grapes.
Fuck it. I'll do orange.
Yes. Do you like orange? You're a big fruit and
Yeah,
veggie boy.
I
Yeah,
love orange.
I wish I did because they're super good for you, but the like the peeling, like how when you peel it off and you get like the stringy pieces. I'm not about that. I wish I was, but
Mm.
texture.
I try to get as I mean, I know everybody tries to get as much off as possible, but I don't mind because it's not like it's hard or chewy. It's just like
Yeah.
whatever. And I also love orange flavored stuff, like
Dude,
candy. Love it.
saying I love orange flavored stuff, but just it's 100% like with citrus fruit in general too, or like like grapefruit and oranges and that type of stuff. Like pineapple's fine, but with those two, it's like the texture where it's like, oh yeah, maybe you're gonna get like a kind of like a hard one, or you're gonna get a mushy one.
Yeah.
Isn't this fun? It's like no.
But man, when you get one that's perfect though, it's just the best. Just the
The
best.
I did a mud run one time, and I don't like I said I don't like oranges. But at the end, they were just handing out orange slices, and I'm like, "This is so fucking good!" Like, sir, you ate the peel.
You're just knocking people over,
Yeah.
taking theirs.
I'd leave the rind in my mouth to scare them. Like, "Ah, give me."
All right, a silly word.
Rind.
Adjective.
Um, bloody.
Adjective.
Hairy.
Adjective.
Scary.
Color.
Uh, grape.
Crepe color. Another
Which one?
color.
Hot another color?
Yep.
You trying to think of like root beer brown. Because like those like sniffing markers, they're called Sharpies. They would have they would have like the flavors, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
hmm. That's how I'd have to do it, so I know what color I was using.
Sure. I mean, that makes sense. An adjective.
Scare. Did I say scary already?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know I went scary, hairy, because I'm using the adjectives I use to describe my parents' dog Mary. Uh,
Scary
uh,
Harry Mary.
yeah. Let's say light.
Light.
Yeah,
Okay. A noun.
grapes.
Grapes.
Grape,
Oh, okay.
oh yeah, look at these little balls I'm putting in my mouth.
Okay.
They're grapes.
An exclamation.
Um, what do you mean a tomato's not a fruit?
I can't write all that on this little line.
Oh shit, then.
Part of the body.
Oh, long.
Oh, jeez. This really makes you a silly fucker.
Yeah.
Okay, another silly word.
Um, Kermit.
Noun.
Frog.
And adjective.
Um, Big. Fat. Go big and fat.
All right, driving lesson. Late one night, Dr. Bruce Banner stood waiting for the stoplight to turn orange so he could hurriedly cross the street. When it did, he stepped off the orange and into the street at the same time that a car came speeding around the corner with a loud rind Bruce let out a bloody gasp and jumped out of the way. That hairy driver almost killed me, Bruce said, feeling himself grow more and more scary. After a few moments, the world turned totally grape. Meanwhile, the man driving the car was about to speed through another root beer brown light when suddenly a light green shape landed in front of his speeding grapes. Holy shit, the man shouted, jamming on the brakes with his schlong. Before he could say Kermit, the man and his car were hanging upside down from a frog, while Bruce Banner walked on by, a big fat smile on his face.
Nice. Oh, so I had something funny I was going to say, but now I don't remember. It was early on. I was like, oh, I need to mention this at the end. But boy, howdy, did I forget. So it doesn't matter.
Sometimes it be like that.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Ash to my Pikachu. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. I just like Ash, I choose you, buddy.
Hey, that's sweet. How's your day going?
Yeah, not so bad. It was a little disappointing. I had my alarm set bright and early, gym time. Gonna get it, Gonna clang and bang, as The Rock says. And then my phone updated in the middle of the night and turned my alarms off. So then I woke up, I'm like, oh, it's light out. And I was like, at 6 o'clock. Oh, okay. No gym for old Casey boy.
Were you late for work?
I mean, I work with dad and I farm. It's not it's not that serious as far as scheduling.
Right. Well, oh, I have some pretty cool news.
Ooh,
I played the best round of golf I've ever played today.
nice up top.
I was
What?
was stoked.
Nice. Is it because you had your wife as your cheerleader this time?
It must have been. She was a
Yeah,
pretty good caddy.
yeah. You need to be like every time she's like, "Oh Lord, no."
I know. It was and also perfect day for it.
It was
Weather could not have been better.
it was a little warm where I was at. I don't know about you.
Well, not at 7 in the morning.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because that like when me and Hallie were at the farm working on some stuff, she was just dragging. She was like sitting in the shade like every chance she got, but she doesn't want me to go too far away, so she takes off after me, and then she's like, I'm like, dude, you have water. It's fine. Like we're at the
Yeah,
farm. I'm not leaving you.
right. That's funny. Yeah, I know it got up to like, 85 later, but I don't want to be golfing when it's 85.
Yeah, fuck that. That sounds miserable because I've mini golfed when it's that hot and hotter, and boy, you just see the worst in yourself and the people you're with when you mini golf and it's hot out.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I did walk it though. So that
How
was
many how many steps you at?
um 8,400.
Nice.
Just under 4 miles today.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta get 2,000 more so you can reach that 10,000 goal.
Oof. That's not a goal that I have set. Okay, we do have a YouTube comment before we share some special news. Um, it's from our pal Gerblaw. He is talking about last week's um I just realized that I did not edit the name of last week's YouTube video. It's kind of funny. Anyway, it's about the Fantastic Four from last week. He says, for mine, I was thinking Doctor Doom officiating, because if he cared and wanted to, that would be an amazing speech. And it might be even better if he didn't. Deadpool is the best man for the bachelor party and the best man speech. Catwoman for the maid of honor, because she'd be a good time, but also smart enough to fix whatever Deadpool screwed up. And probably Lex Luthor as the wedding planner, because he'd hire someone else to do it who was actually very good. And I have to say, I think all of those are perfect.
Yeah, and he did a great job with that. He put a lot more thought than you did.
Yep, absolutely he did. Absolutely. So, all right, thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. All right, Casey, you're up.
All right, so a couple weeks ago, I applied for a affiliate code for Super 7, and apparently they got back to us, and we now have a Super 7 affiliate code. If you just go super7.com/2worldspod, then the way it looks to me is once you go there, then you just shop normally. You don't even have to do anything extra. You just shop normally, you get what you want. We get 5% back. Lots of cool stuff on Super 7. I've gotten Jake Super 7 stuff before. I got this Destroya off of there. Comes with stuff. Whoa. Little aggregate boys. If you've seen the and it's an extra head, which it's like, I don't what am I doing with this? But yeah, if I have a video where I talk about that all completely. They're really cool. They have shirts, they have, basically if you have nerds in your life or just like oddly enough rap fans in your life, they have something for you. And just use our code and go to the website and yeah,
Yeah,
we'd be very appreciative. And also they have like tons of cool Teenage Mutant Turtle stuff, Thundercats and Voltron, which I've gotten Jake both of.
and they're
So
amazing.
yeah, it's a good stuff.
Yeah. And you know, if you go that route and we get some money off of those, it will go towards keeping this thing going. Because the longer we do it, the more the expenses pile.
Yeah, and like I'll say this, if enough people start doing it where we make like actual money on it, we'll do like a giveaway. Like I'll buy something from Super 7
Yeah,
with our affiliate code. And then we'll do a giveaway where it's like whoever, like the comments on the video or some shit, we'll work it out. But yeah,
absolutely. That'd be cool as hell.
or maybe just a gift card because like, I could be like, I bought this really cool Godzilla that I really wanted. Let's see if there's any Godzilla fans that want to comment on this. Oh, Casey commented. I win.
Definitely not rigged.
Yeah, so maybe just a gift card. That might work a little bit better.
Yeah. But yeah, big thank you to Super 7 for accepting us for that. Very cool. Um, hopefully we get some more of those. It'd be nice
Yeah,
to be nice.
yeah. I actually found a list. I meant to do it over the weekend. I just was busy, but found a list of like nerdy ones that have affiliate things. Like Entertainment Earth was one, and some other ones. So I was like, oh, I'll do this, but I don't want to like Super Seven's a brand that a brand that I believe in. I don't want to just be like hawking shit that I'm like, oh, this stuff, this garbage. Guys, spend your money on it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Entertainment Earth, I feel like is solid enough.
Yeah,
I know multiple people that shop there.
yeah, and isn't it kind of like an aggregate of different things online too? Like they aren't the ones actually producing their stuff. It's kind of like just nerd shit from all over, or do they
Yeah, I
just
think so. I could be
yeah.
wrong though. Alrighty. Up on to the news. I've got a couple more than you, so I'll start us off. Um, we'll do some show and movie news. Apparently, the Jon Snow TV show that Kit Harington was putting together as a Game of Thrones spinoff is no longer happening. Um, from what I could see online, They just said that they couldn't find the right story to tell. So not sure. I mean, I thought they already had a story worked out, so it sounds like whatever they had, the studio was not about. So
Yeah.
disappointing. I mean, a lot of people online, which that doesn't mean anything. People online are dicks. They were like, good, nobody asked for this. It's like, well, actually, quite a few people are asking for this.
I will just like just to play devil's advocate though, is it nice having it so that it's like it's not happening? Because I mean, I don't know how much you liked Jon Snow's ending, but like, did he have a good ending in Game of Thrones, or you like would
No,
it? Oh, okay. Well, never
no,
mind.
he needed this
I
to make
gotcha.
it good.
I gotcha. Because yeah, I was gonna say like if he had a pretty solid ending and then like they're just trying to do a cash grab, it'd be like, I don't know.
No. Um, yes, I guess spoilers for the end of Game of Thrones from several years ago. Like he dies. It was a big season cliffhanger. And in the books, the last book that was written ends with him dying. Um, they resurrect him, and then he doesn't do a motherfucking thing for the rest of the
Yeah.
story. Um, so it's like, okay, if they had this show, which the actual show ended with him taking all of the free folk back north of the wall because they were all going to settle out there outside of the Seven Kingdoms. It's like, okay, well, there's definitely a story there. Like he goes, he's the leader of the free folk. There's still magical creatures north of the wall and stuff like that. Like, who knows what could happen? But he could definitely get a better ending than just being brought back to life and then everyone else doing all the cool shit at the end.
Yeah. No,
So
I hear that.
that's my take on it. Okay, and then the other big news, this was earlier today actually. Keanu Reeves has been cast as Shadow in Sonic 3, the movie.
That's about perfect. I'm not gonna, you
Hmm.
know, he's similar enough to Ben Schwartz, but different enough that it works. Like if they would have gone the route of like the Idris Elba route for Shadow, it wouldn't. I don't think it would work. But like with him, it's like, yeah, I can see them being related in a movie, so it 100% works for me.
Yeah, and everybody loves Keanu, so I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
anyone's complaining about that.
No, I mean
So,
it's kind of hilarious that outside of Tails, but with the big three, now it's like, man, the low like the weakest actor of the bunch as far as like popularity is Sonic because there's Idris
hmm.
Elba and Keanu who have like insane following, and then like Benny has a cult following.
Yeah, and I realize that Tails is also a cult following, but it's like you got the Tails actor for this,
Yeah,
so like the gaming cult is all about that.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for the movie. I think it's gonna be a
I'm
good time.
I'm glad those movies have been good. It'd be
Yeah.
hilarious if Shadow's design. I know that didn't you say that they've already shown it?
Mm.
It'd be funny if his design though was like the original Sonic movie design, like that creepy meth head looking thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be funny.
Okay, so this isn't like major news, but James Gunn did reveal that season 2 of Peacemaker has started filming. He just did like a little selfie of the Peacemaker helmet. So that's something.
I'm
I still
excited.
I still think it's stupid that it's being done because it's like, oh, it just reeks of New 52. It's like, oh, we're rebooting everything. Not my stuff. Everything else. It's like, why do you sound like Ray Romano? And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's like guys, this did not work when you were doing this with New 52. I don't think it's gonna work with the movie verse when people are like the movie goers are dumber than the comic book readers too. They're less
Well, right.
grumpy, but they're dumber.
Right. I agree with that. However, I really don't think that him going that route with that show is going to change the show or what happens after the show that much.
Yeah,
You
but I
know?
mean, but he's still, I don't know. I mean, keeping fucking Waller, which it's like, yeah, when you have Viola Davis, I get keeping her as the same actor, like doing the same stuff, but it's still like, I don't know, you're just doing too much of the same stuff from the past universe. It's just like you have to look at your audience. And maybe I don't have enough faith in them. Maybe they're gonna be smart and well informed,
Is
you
it doing
know.
too much if it's just one season of a show that's 8 episodes and they're just going to do another 8 episodes with this and then be done?
It just depends on how much he tries to connect it. Because we don't know how much stuff's gonna, be crossing over because they're wanting Marvel synergy, Marvel level
Hmm.
synergy. So it's like we don't know if I don't know if Peacemaker is gonna be kissing Lois Lane. Yeah, something like that, where it's like that's gonna then cross over to the Superman movie or what have you, or the Howling Commandos or whatever.
Right.
So that's my main concern. Let us know down below. Do you guys have any concerns about it, or are you just like, nah, Casey, you grumpy curmudgeon, you don't know anything? And I'll say, fair enough.
All right. So apparently there's a G.I. Joe and Transformers crossover film in the works. Did you see that on the internet?
I did. I was about to type it up, and then I was like, ah, you rascal, you got it.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I guess Bumblebee was actually pretty good, like as far as a Transformers movie go, but the last Transformers movie I watched was kind of a dumpster fire. And then every G.I. Joe movie I hear has been dumpster fires. Because like as soon as they had power suits in the first one, I just had no interest. And then I kind of wanted to see the Snake Eyes movie, but I just didn't, and no one else did. So I I'm just I don't know. I don't know if sadly if the G.I. Joe IP is going to be something that's going to be making money.
Hmm. Yeah.
What about you? Do you have any interest?
No, I mean, both of those things are neat, but it's nothing that like I'm super into. So
Yeah.
unless the trailer just looks as fun as, I know I still haven't seen it, but Godzilla Kong, then I'll probably be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. The what if, because it's Paramount, right? That's doing,
I think
or
so.
no, it's Warner Bros. I don't know. But if it's Paramount, hypothetically, what if like in the semi, Optimus Prime turns into the semi, he drives up, he pulls up and then opens the door and there's Vin Diesel's bald head and he's like, let's go with our family.
And then up runs Sonic.
Yeah.
Because
Would
that's
you be like,
Paramount, right?
I think so. And then the turtles hop out at the back too. It's like, yeah, let's do it. We're his new family. And, then, and they're
Like,
like,
yeah, fuck those or those GI
yeah,
Joes,
it's
like
like
Michelangelo.
we're gonna kill those GI Joes for sure. Like this is so weird and awesome.
Yeah, if that were the case, then I'd be all about it.
Speaking of Teenage Mutant Turtles saying fuck, we are gonna get a Paramount has greenlit an R-rated live action adaptation to TMT Last Ronin. It's gonna be written by Tyler Burton Smith. He wrote the newest Child's Play. Like that was the one thing that I had seen that he had done, which is like a fine movie, but a lot of like Child's Play fans who were the target audience didn't like it because it was new and different. But as a non-horror movie fan, I was like, "Ooh, Mark Hamill and Aubrey Plaza, sign me up!" Uh, and Bree was like, "Why are you drooling at the TV this whole time?" I'm like, "No reason." Um, but yeah, so it could be cool. I already see people complaining online, going, "Oh yeah, the Turtles needs to be fucking edgy." It's like, I mean, did you read the original comic at all?
No,
No?
they didn't.
Okay. Okay. Just checking.
I think it could be neat, but I think we're starting to milk it quite a bit.
Oh, 100%. Which
The original was lightning in a bottle, and it's not they're not going to get that again.
here's the thing though. What's like one thing that the Teenage Mutant Turtles, as much as we love it, and everyone listening more than likely loves it, is known for? Disney levels on milking. Like they're just milking those turtle teats for all they can.
Yeah, I'm not saying it won't be good or you know entertaining, whatever.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like, okay, we've had the book, we've had the Lost Years, we've got the follow up, we're getting the game, now we're getting this. It's just a lot. It's
Yeah,
just a lot.
I gotta pull this up because I'm gonna pull up something. I'm gonna say this is what I want though, and it's not gonna happen. But how cool would it be if in the new movie, I'm gonna find if they casted the people from the 1990s best version? I gotta find the whole cast because that would be like to me if they got Judith Hogg as April O'Neil, which is like that's a hilarious name. Or Hogue. I don't know. Old Judith Hogg.
Judy Hogg.
And then get like for the flashbacks, you don't think you could get Elias Koteas as Casey Jones because it's like he dies pretty young. But then if you got just where's the like Brian Tochi, Josh Pies, Corey Feldman, and Robbie Rist as the Turtles. Like that would be sweet as hell. And they did it with like just do motion cap suits like the Michael Bay version though. Like that, like instead of doing like because you couldn't for the fight scenes that they want to do the big animatronic suits. But yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
Well, we'll see, man. Never say never.
Yeah. You gonna be smacking that old hog if old hog comes back?
I'm I'm sure it is Hogue, by the way, but also no, probably not.
Oh, okay.
Um, okay. Did you see any of the stuff with Tom Taylor this
Yeah, I
last
did.
week?
It was kind of like terrible but hilarious at the same time, and I'll mention why it's funny to me, but go ahead,
Sure, sure, sure,
tell
sure.
about it.
So Tom Taylor will be wrapping up uh his Nightwing run. The last arc will start with uh this week, the week of the 17th issue of Nightwing. And he was talking about that. He was talking about how he'd like to just discuss Barbara Gordon as a character, like her history and stuff like that. And people on Twitter just went fucking bonkers and started posting selfies or videos of themselves burning pictures of Tom Taylor.
Yeah.
And look, I like some Tom Taylor stuff. I don't like some other Tom Taylor stuff. No matter who it is, even if it's someone I really can't stand, would I ever record myself burning their photos to post online? Like, you are such a fucking loser if
Right.
that's what you're doing with your time. You're a fucking loser.
Like it's stupid when fans of like a sports team do it, but at least they owned the fucking thing. Unless like these people have like a framed photo on their desk of Tom Taylor and then they take it down and then they because like otherwise what you're doing is you go to Tom Taylor's X page, you print it off his profile picture, and then you're like, I'm gonna burn it on video.
Yeah,
Like the fuck?
yeah.
So yeah,
Like,
it had me laughing, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm outside of the situation. If I was Tommy T, I'd be a little worried too, just because people are fucking psychotic.
yeah.
So like, I get like being upset about it and stuff, but just no, I don't think anything's gonna happen to him. So like at that I can laugh and like you, I'm not the biggest Tommy T's fan, but I'd gladly have him on the podcast. He never responded,
And you
but
you wouldn't wish him ill.
no,
It's
not at
just
all.
like it's like
Like
have I been vocal about not liking some of his Nightwing? Yes. But does that mean I want him to get hurt? No, guys,
no,
it's comics.
it's
Just
comics.
don't fucking read it.
Mike Tyson said it though. It's like the internet's made it so people are really comfortable talking shit without having, being worried about being punched in the face. And that's what this sounds like because these fucking nerds wouldn't say shit to, anybody at all. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's like any type of shit. They wouldn't even say hi because they don't know how to, communicate with people.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's hilarious. But
So
at
in
the same time, poor guy.
yes, in conclusion, don't do that because you're a huge fucking loser. And two, if you don't like somebody's work, just don't read it.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. And then you move on.
Yep. Yeah, what you do is you buy it from comic headquarters and then you say, "No, I'm just going to sit it here and let it gather dust. But
Or give it
I
to
want it,
somebody else who might like it.
but I'm gonna keep giving Jake money." That's what you
Yes.
do.
Yes, that's what you do.
Buy
Please.
two, actually. Make sure that they know you're really angry.
Yeah. Post selfies of both of the copies that you purchased from comic headquarters at 4352 Telegraph Road, St. Louis, Missouri.
But no, it's like it's one thing too, also, just to be like, just I mean, I don't know why we're telling our listeners because it's not like they're the ones doing it. But it's like if you're being critical of something and just being like, oh yeah, I didn't like how this was written. And I mean, you know, he's being very ableist with his way of writing Barbara. Like, if you're doing that shit, like you're just being, but then if you're straight up just being an asshole about it and like not actually giving good reasons and all this other stuff, it's like, because there's ways to have discussions on things versus not and all that type of stuff. Because like Tommy T seems like the type that would actually listen to someone saying like, "Oh yeah, you're not writing Barbara the way that we think you should with this," and he'd listen and he'd probably even give you like why he thinks it's the right way and actually make it a discussion. But when you're actually just attacking someone, it's like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You're not gonna get shit done that way.
Yeah. No one's going to look at that behavior and think, maybe he's
Yeah.
got a good
Yeah.
point.
This person seems well adjusted.
Uh, all right. And then, so Jeff Lemire is going to Boom Studios for a new book that comes out this fall that he says will be his longest series since Sweet Tooth. He will write and draw all of it. And he seems very, very excited about this. So
Yeah.
something that yeah, here's my question. Do you have to see what it's about with Jeff, or are you like, I'm gonna check it out no matter what?
I'm gonna probably check it out no matter, but I will say I'm probably gonna trade wait or omnibus wait for it because with those he does take a like extra time. If this is gonna be like a full long series where I'm like getting, 6 issues a year or 4 issues a year, it's just not worth it for me to try to get, keep up and then be like, I don't know what the hell's going on since this last issue. You know what I mean? What about you though?
Yep.
Are you gonna be like checking it out monthly or just
I
doing
mean,
trade waiting?
I would like to think that Jeff has reached that status where I'll read anything, no questions asked. But if the subject matter really is something I don't care about, then probably not.
So what about fish flies made you go, yeah, I need a story about a snot-nosed girls and a bunch of flies.
Because I opened it up and I was like, I gotta know what's actually happening here.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I just wanted to tease you.
Yeah.
All right, so my last bit of news. Monarch Legacy Monsters has been renewed for a second season, which is exciting. I wasn't sure if it was going to because like it ended well, where it's like, yeah, if we just ended it here, these characters might pop up in the movies. That's it, and it's fine. But this is, I don't want to spoil anything because I do want you to watch it. I want other people to watch it. It's good. But yeah, so we're getting the second season, so that's cool. Gareth Edwards is going to be joining as producer and a writer. I have a feeling he's not going to be sitting in the trenches in the writer's room. He's probably going to be like, oh yeah, 3 episodes this season are written by me, that type of thing. Because I just
Yeah.
I just couldn't see like Gareth Edwards being like, yeah, no, I'm in the writer's room helping Matt Fraction come up with stories for this. Like I don't see that being a thing.
Yeah. That's cool though.
Yeah, it should be neat. It's like his style of storytelling, I think, is going to work a lot better in the TV setting versus the movie setting because I think the movies were just too slow. Like, what he was wanting to do was just too slow in the movie setting, and he had the most bland fucking actor on the planet.
James Bond, you mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of shows, by the way, this isn't a news thing, but today I watched the first 3 episodes of the Fallout show on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's good.
I watched the first episode and I couldn't get into it really. I'm not a big Fallout fan, so it's like 100% a me thing, and I understand that, but it's like it's hard for me to get into a show when the game that I would play, all I would do was like nothing on the main story. So I've
Hmm.
never been invested in the story of Fallout. It's more just like, yeah, I'm a fucking chaotic psychopath that's going around doing these terrible things. It's actually usually like I'm trying to steal stuff and then I get caught and then I have to keep murdering people because they keep catching me. Like it starts off with stealing and then it's just slowly I kill everybody.
Right. No, I've played very little, so who knows if it's actually faithful or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
Um,
Mr. Gerbois, he had watched, I think all of it or pretty close, and he was like loving it because we were talking about. I was like, I told him about the same thing. He's like, no, I love Fallout, and it's awesome.
Good. I'm
Um,
glad. The guy that plays the ghoul is
I
so
love
good.
him.
He's
I
so
love.
good.
He's like really big and Justified. Like that's like his the breakout role for him for me, and he's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's a damn shame that he was in like two scenes in a Marvel movie because I was like he would have been on an awesome villain, and they used him like very little in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Uh,
He was like he was Egghead, you know, like that
right.
wonderful, yeah. Which it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's got the head for it, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Now his like I like the main girl a lot, but otherwise I'm like super invested in what's going on with his character in it.
Yeah.
He's just so good. So
Well, the opening was amazing. Like that
yeah.
first episode opening, I was like, yeah, no,
Yes.
okay, I'm into this. But then like, and then the stuff with the main girl I thought was kind of cool. But then like the stuff with the Brotherhood, I just could not be bothered to care.
See, it got pretty interesting in episodes 2 and 3.
Oh, okay. Well,
Pretty
then there you
interesting.
go.
Yeah.
Because like it's one of those things where I'll probably get back to, but
Yeah.
just as
And
far as
I don't know anything about the Brotherhood at
me
all.
neither. I just
Like
know they
there
look
was
cool.
knights and squires and clerics and orders coming from above, and I'm like, I didn't know all this was in Fallout.
Yeah.
So but no, so far really good. And I'm sure I will finish it this week
Yeah.
because there's only like 8 episodes anyway.
Yeah. It's already been renewed for the next season too.
Good. Good. I'm glad. I
Yeah.
hope that it's like, why couldn't Halo do this? Why did Halo have to be a big pile of shit? And like Fallout, and what was the other adaptation that was done super well that people loved? Um, it just left my mind. I was
Yeah.
thinking about it earlier, but anyway.
Well, the only way Halo could have worked, in my opinion, though, is
Oh,
they
League of
couldn't.
Legends. Sorry,
Oh,
League of
okay.
Legends.
See, I didn't even know that was a thing. But the only way Halo could have worked is if they didn't have Master Chief. Like that's the problem with the Halo one. It's like you have this iconic character that doesn't take off his mask. They're not going to allow that. You know what I mean? And then it's
I know they're
like,
not going to allow it, but I know you and I both really like this movie. Carl Urban's Dread.
so just what you're saying is cast Carl Urban as Master Chief because he
Fuck
would be
yeah.
he would be like, no, I'm not taking the mask off.
Yeah. But that's the perfect example of where you don't need to do it. We all know it's Carl Urban. We all love Carl Urban, and
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah. I mean, that's why, but they, so I don't know enough about Halo, but couldn't they have done like, I don't know, like Halo Reach or like
Hmm.
one of the offshoots where it's like you're playing as the grunts, you're not the awesome Master Chief.
Yeah.
That would have been like, but then you wouldn't have Master Chief to plaster everywhere, but that would be like the way to get around it, I think.
But he could be in scenes. He
Yeah.
could be in scenes where like all hope is lost. Boom, Chief comes in, fucking mows down everything and keeps going. And it's like, that was fucking cool.
It's like the Chuck Norris scene in Expendables.
Exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah. Or even if they talk about him throughout, or just like show him on a screen or something.
Yeah.
But because, dude, I've read a lot of the Halo books, and the ones that are all about the other Spartans are just as cool. It's like
Yeah.
we just need Spartans. It doesn't have to be Master Chief.
Oh, like a 300 movie?
Yeah, like 300. Anyway,
Oh, dude, we need to get fucking ripped. So next time we go to C2E2, we'll wear the helmets, but then the just the be peeled and like oiled up, and then have like loincloths and capes.
sure.
This
If this video gets 500 likes, we'll do that.
you hear that, people? If you guys want to see that, tell your friends. And also the top comment. gets to be the one that oils us up.
Hell yeah. All right. And then the last bit of news. So a while back, we talked about Scott Snyder doing an Ultimates line for DC. We finally got some news on that. It's going to be called Absolute Comics. That's all going to happen after Mark Waid's Absolute Power event in July and August. So we're probably looking at um, like a fall or maybe early winter for this to happen. But um, but anyway, it's nice to actually have some news on that now, and we'll see what we get out of that. I don't really care too much about Ultimates comics. However, if it's going to be a good creative team and like the characters look cool, I'll at least give it a shot. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, this is to me what the new 52 should have been as like a second printing, print thing where like, yeah, you're gonna throw a lot at the fucking wall. You're gonna see what sticks, and you're gonna try like this is where you get to try stuff. But don't be like Marvel where you're like, well, let's see if people want to read Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch banging each other or the Blob eating Wasp, that type of stuff. Like no one wants that.
Hmm.
But if you want to try new things like Wonder Woman dating Superman or, whatever, this is where you do it. And I
Yeah,
think that's going to be really interesting. It could be really interesting.
I agree. All right. But that's it for the news, man. So what'd you read this week?
So I read I Hate Fairyland number 13, Fantastic Four, book 19, Weapon X-Men number 2, The Invincible Iron Man number 17, Transformers number 7, which as I was reading this, I was like, I don't think I read issue 6. And I saw the covers of issue 6. I'm like, I missed issue 6 because I was so lost. Wolverine 47, Green Lantern 10, Batman and Robin 8, and The Incredible Hulk 11.
All right.
What about you, buddy?
So you didn't do action?
No. After it became whatchamacallit, I dropped that one.
This was the start of the House of Brainiac stuff.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
and
should have.
it was really fucking good.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, not too bad that was good, but
Yeah. Um, Remind me when you do your list because I just want you to read it, even if you
yeah.
don't want it.
Well, no, now I do. Like that's the only reason why I pick up action. But it's like, why does fucking start with action when the flag bearing book
Mhm.
of it is Superman? But
Yeah.
whatever.
All right. So I read Green Lantern 10, Incredible Hulk 11, Batman and Robin number 8, Action 1064. Um, Batman First Night number 2, and Thundercats number 3.
All right. I think I read a few more, so I'll
Hmm.
start. So I Hate Fairyland issue 13. They decided to make a movie off of Gert in Fairyland. So they find her, have her sign stuff over, and then they make the movie and it's nothing like it. Gert and her friend, that guides her is throwing up. I'm just like, I'm to the point with this book where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this book is anymore. It used to be like Gert's, they had like a proper thing, and then they killed old Gert, and now young Gert, time travel, is there, and she's not even seeming to try to get back to the real world. So I don't know. It's just like like as listening to this podcast, sometimes jokes hit, sometimes they don't. Most of the times mine don't, but this is just not hitting for me a lot of the time. I'm probably like, I like the art, it's fun, but the book, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. So I'm gonna say 5 out of 10. And then I'll start with Fantastic Four, book 19, The Perfect Storm. I thought you were gonna pick this one up because just for the
It's a
fun
great
fun
cover.
cover.
It's a great cover.
But so yeah, it's Ryan North on the art. I'm gonna find the writer really quick. So like it, um, It's like a detective story, and it's like one of those things where it's Carlos Gomez on the art. It was kind of neat because you're reading it, and if you're reading this, you're probably thinking like, oh yeah, because it's all detective-y. Like Ben Grimm is for sure going to be the detective, like Sue Storm's the film figured out.
He should be.
Well, it wasn't. It was Alicia Masters instead, the blind detective. And I'm like, oh, that's fun. Like you couldn't do that in a movie, you know? And then like her eyes were Ben Grimm, like they met, they felt, like she tells this backstory. The one downside though, this is like the same downside I always have with the Ryan North books. It's like he fucking loves talking. It's like you could do a lot more with a lot less, bud. And it's the same thing every time. Because it's just like page upon page of just like him setting the scene and then them talking to each other, explaining every possible outcome, and then like you had like Johnny like talking on the phone because he was, and he was in charge. He's like talking on the phone, like, "Oh, they're gonna find out." It's like you're saying a lot, but there is no need to be saying this much. But then it's revealed like this was all cosmic cube shenanigans and that type of stuff, and it was fun. It's like it's perfectly fine. It wasn't as good as I was hoping because I love this type of setting, but and it's 100% just kind of boils down to Ryan North's over explanation writing that he does. But other than that, it's good. I'm gonna go.
Art looked pretty neat.
Yeah, I love the art, and it's just like there's a lot of good ideas there. It just feels like, buddy, just trust the audience a little bit better, you know? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go 7 out of 10.
You want me to do one? Should you do another one?
I got how many do you have total? Because I got
Three, and then our three Mewtwo's.
okay, so I'll do one more and then I'll let you go and then I'll do two and then I'll do one.
Okay.
So Weapon X or Weapon X-Men by Christos Gage and Yildiray Sinar. This is very heavy on the Earth X Wolverine, and like it kind of tells more of his backstory, which I didn't know a lot of. So basically he like slowed down his healing factor just enough so that because like Jean lost her powers, so he slowed his healing factor down because they were gonna, they got married and stuff, and she just couldn't be a hero, so she kind of became depressed and sitting on the couch eating and stuff, and he's like he ended up getting like she ended up getting heavier, and so then he was like, oh, I need to lose my healing factor so I can basically age with the woman I love. And so that's what he did. But the problem is, she was like, "You're not the man I fell in love with." And so then she just left him. So then we get fat, balding Wolverine who's depressed. And that's basically his backstory. I'm like, that's interesting. And then we go to this world, they fight Onslaught. Onslaught tricks him. He cuts off fucking Cable's arm. Like a lot of stuff happens. It's pretty neat. The only downside is like there's times where I'm like, Gene, like the Phoenix Gene that set them all, like brought them all together. I'm like, why are you such an asshole to poor old fat Wolverine? Like, there's no need. And like she called, like it was weird. She called old man Logan emo, which I'm like, that's weird. Yeah. Because he's like, I'm not popping my claws out no more after I killed, more of my like variants of my friends that I murdered in my own world. I'm not popping my claws out again, like that type of thing. And she's like, oh, emo Wolverine over here. It's like, he's got a lot of trauma, bud. You should, I know, like Brian
Not wanting to
Bendez.
kill versions of your friends is not emo.
Yeah, I know Brian Bendez wrote you as like a garbage pail of a person, but I figured other writers wouldn't have you be that terrible. Come on. But yeah, I mean, it's perfectly fine. This is another 7 for me. Like this is like gonna be kind of on brand for this week, I think. It's gonna be a lot of 7s.
Well, hopefully not on two of our Mewtwo's.
Mm.
Ooh, okay. All right, so we got Batman or The Batman First Night by Dan Jurgens and Mike Perkins. I like this. I think this is a pretty solid like Elseworlds Batman book. The art's fucking cool. we're weeks into Bruce being Batman, so he's just getting his ass kicked, doesn't know how to like be the best version of Batman. And he's fighting what we think are like people that should be dead, but then they're coming back all like just gross looking. They're just like grotesque undead monsters.
Yeah,
Um, Gordon's great in it. And I think this is some of the best stuff that Dan Jurgens has written in like recent memory. We
nice.
talk sometimes some of his stuff can be a little bit dated, but he's writing, you know, 1940s Gotham City and he can do that.
Yeah,
So it's good stuff, man. It's good. I like it.
you don't hear people talking about it either. That's like one of the weird things.
It is weird. It's selling very well at my shop.
Yeah, it's
So,
kind of like perfect for your guys for your target, like you're not target audience, but like just the audience at your shop of being like Batman, DC fans, you know.
yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Nice, dude. All right. So the Invincible Iron Man issue 17 by Gary Duggan and Pat Zurcher's art. So Tony hit his head, he's hallucinating and stuff. Like there's like fuel leakage and whatnot. So he sees his daddy and his two moms, and then he fights the bad guy, and then it's revealed like, oh, we got hoodwinked. The androids are, coming to kill us. And then Iron Man's like, hey, honey, honey is his wife. Like that's the White Queen. He's like, you want to come help me? She's like, I'm busy. I'm working here, fighting off these sentinels. But I sent a friend, and then it's old Mr. Magneto. And like this is the whole thing is like him writing his book. And so he's like, the last thing, it kind of made me laugh. He's like, I've had my share of untold tales in this autobiography, but maybe none more suspenseful than my next story. How I learned to stop worrying and love the master of magnetism. I'm like, that's fun. But
Yeah.
the book all in itself, it's just like, it's fine, you
I'll say
know?
this, as someone as you know who doesn't really care for Iron Man, always has some bitchin' covers.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, like, outside of Alex Ross covers, these are probably my favorite that I can, off the top of my head, I can think of, like, current cover is the Iron Man covers because
Yeah.
they're so cool.
I think it's Kale Goo, right? Who's
Uh,
doing it? He's done some.
yeah, we'll find out really quick. Um, so the color artist is Brian Valenza. Oh, the cover artist is Kale Goo though. But
Okay.
they did the color. Oh, I'm just a little acoustic sometimes. I said I read the color artist and it threw me off. But yeah, no, this is probably a 7.5. It was neat. I like Pat Zurcher's art, and then the story. It's just like, man, this is kind of cool.
Nice.
It's weird that he spent all this time on armor that's supposed to be unbreakable, and then in the issue that it finally gets unveiled, it fucking breaks, and then this issue's him dealing with his unbreakable armor that's broken.
Yeah.
All right, so Transformers issue 7 by Dan Warren Johnson, and then we got Jorge Corona doing the art. Yeah, like I said, since I missed the last issue, I was kind of lost, but kind of like the last several with this, it's just like, yeah, this is fine. It's Transformers. I've said multiple times I am not invested in the Transformer verse at all, like so I'm not really a target audience. I didn't know what was going on really. It's just like, yeah, looks pretty cool.
Here's my question. How does Jorge Corona's art transfer from Batgirls to Transformers?
It looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Daniel Warren Johnson to me, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Jorge Corona is pretty similar.
Yeah.
And that's not even a dig. Like that's a great
No.
style to. Yeah, looks great.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I mean it's fine. I'd like to hear someone else's opinion who actually like is invested in this universe, if they're enjoying this stuff, like for me, I'm just like, oh yeah, when I prefer the G.I. Joe stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long I'm gonna keep reading this book. It's getting to the point where it's like I'm about done.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm probably at a 6.5.
All right, Thundercats, which by the way, the David Nakayama cover, fucking cool.
Did it awaken a few things in you?
Nothing that wasn't already there with
Fair
Chitara.
enough.
It's written by Declan Shalvey with art by Drew Moss, and it's cool. Snarf comes back this issue. Well, I mean, not doesn't come back in this series, but uh, just comes back into my life. So that was fun. Um, there's just like them trusting this gal that they found that's being controlled by Mum Ra is really causing a rift in the team. So I think that'll all come to a head soon. And then towards the end, Slythe and Monkeyan, I guess is his name, square up to have a showdown. So that'll be pretty cool to see who's the stronger mutant. But yeah, I'm still greatly enjoying this. Uh, can't wait for more. So I'm gonna give it, probably give it an 8.
Nice, man. All right, so Wolverine 47 by Victor Lovato and Benjamin Percy, and then Jeff Shaw doing the arts. Yeah, I mean, this is bloody. They seemingly beat Sabretooth this time. I don't know who the hell this I call her Mrs. Sinister, but I know that's not her name, but she just looks like Mr.
Mm,
Sinister.
yeah.
But she talks about how she's like way stronger this time because last time she was too busy being worried for her friends than, use her hate as strength. So I'm assuming her powers must be hate based. I don't know. And then yeah, they beat Sabretooth, but then uh-oh, we got these other two Sabretooths that were working in the shadows trying to bring about this one bad guy. And that's how it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna have to fight him this time in this next issue. It's fine. It was just kind of like it's like, yeah, you guys could have done this in maybe 6 issues. We don't need I don't know. It just seemed like a little bit like there's a little bit of filler. I don't think 10 issues was needed for it. So yeah, probably another 7. It was like I said, it was fine. This is like a nice Laura issue though. We get Laura Veen. Let's go with that because it's her Wolverine. So Laura Veen. This confusing with two Wolverines. Um, Let me know down below. Do you like the Laura Veen name? Do you think Marvel should go with it? If so, let Benjamin Percy also know.
And tell him we sent you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like I said, it's fine.
This is uh this is mediocre cast for you.
Right? That's what I was saying, man. What order you want to do these last three boys in?
I've got action first.
Ah, shit. Right.
But then let's do Hulk, Lantern, Batman, and Robin.
All right. I would read Hulk Lantern. I think that'd be pretty sweet book. It'd have to
All
be a
right.
Red Lantern though.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Action Comics 1064, written by Joshua Williamson, with art by Rafa Sandoval. Art is just so fucking good in this book. We get nice splash pages like this. Really nice birds if
Yeah.
you like birds. Do you like birds? You ever seen a grown man naked? Anyway, um, so yeah, this is the start of House of Brainiac. A bunch of Zarnians and drones get dropped out of a ship with Brainiac at the helm, and so Superman and the Super Family and Super Core and Lex, everybody is just trying to do their part. Lex does some pretty cool stuff. Uh, Superman does some pretty cool stuff. I'm trying to be vague because I know Casey will read it. Um, here's my only beef with this. I don't like, and I guess I've just not read enough with other Zarnians to know this. They're all like Lobo, and
Well,
that bugs me.
these ones, if I remember correctly, they're Lobo, like they're not Zarnians, they're Lobos.
Okay.
Because I don't know how much you know about if you remember from when we talked about who would win between Lobo, I think, and Barda. Um, from the drop of blood, Zarnians will come about, like other Lobos basically, and then they all just kill each other until one's left. So it like the way I remember is like Brainiac was basically just making more Lobos. So that's why they're like Lobo.
Okay. That makes it a little bit better. It's just it's annoying because it's like it takes away from
Hmm.
Lobo as a character. Even if these guys we're
Yeah.
never going to see them again, it's still like, oh, here's another one and he's also talking exactly like Lobo. So,
Yeah.
even if it's just a clone of him, I wish that they had their own personalities.
Yeah.
Um, but whatever. Everything else about this was really fun in my opinion. I am very excited to see the Super Family and Lex team up to stop all these Lobos and Brainiac. I think it's going to be super fucking cool.
Hmm.
So I'm going to give it a 9. It was almost perfect, except for my complaint from a minute ago.
I gotcha. Speaking of the Lobo thing, there was just like one kind of neat moment. I didn't, so this was like a brother book that I never got to read, but he would tell me different things about it. And like in Young Justice, they had a character named Little Lobo, and it started off as Lobo who just got turned young. And then they were on Apocalypse, and then he got fucking blasted, blood everywhere. All the Lobo, did this whole thing. They all killed each other, but there was one left that didn't fight because he was like basically like a mutant Lobo. Like there's so many of them that got made. He was like this weird scrawny one that was like, I don't want to fight because I'm gonna die. And so then he then joined the Young Justice instead.
Nice.
And then
So
he
that's
slowly,
fun.
yeah, but then he slowly died because like his body just he wasn't supposed to be a thing, so he just slowly like I guess deteriorated away. And we were supposed to be really sad.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you think about it because
Yeah.
I would like to think that we will share feelings on this one.
Yeah, I think so. It should be good. But The Incredible Hulk by Phil Kenny Johnson and Danny Earls on the art. And I didn't have any issues really with the art last time. This time, since it's like action scenes, it was a rough read for me. What'd you think?
I hate the art.
Yeah, it's
I didn't like it before. It was worse here.
it's like, see, for me, Hulk doing investigating, trying to find the person, it worked because there's no, but then like when he's like doing his action scenes, it's pretty rough. Um, but
And
the
I'm not saying it to be mean either. I don't want to
yeah,
bash on this creator. I just
you're not gonna burn his picture.
no, I'm not gonna burn his picture. But it just does not fit this, in my opinion.
I mean, I think it could. I will say, like, I think it works in a horror setting. It's just like to me, it does, but not a horror action setting. Like if Travel Foreman did the that second arc, right? His his art always works well with like weird body horror stuff. It just doesn't work when there's a lot of action involved. And I think this is kind of the same way.
It's just a bummer because like we get the Nick Klein cover
Yeah,
and Nick Klein did do the first arc. So it's like hopefully he's just taking this time to do an upcoming arc because I want him back. Because dude, like
yeah,
the next issue sounds cool. Like Hulk is gonna take Charlie, is that her name?
I think so. Yeah.
Take Charlie in this doll and go find Brother Voodoo and try to like that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's a different artist in the next one.
Yeah. No, it should be like I have a feeling it'll be Nick Klein again because he did the Ghost Rider one, so it just seems like he does an arc, gets a break, and it goes like that. So that's what I have a
Yeah,
feeling is gonna happen. But no, this is another seven for me. The art's like I think the story's cool and all that, but the art just really took me out.
same. I'm gonna give it a 7 as well. I like, so I do those weekly bestseller videos for the shop on
Hmm.
TikTok and Instagram, and some guy commented and was like, I was really loving this book at first, but the last several issues have felt like filler. And I'm like, I totally get that, and I agree.
Hmm.
However, even filler from Philip Kennedy Johnson is better than some people's regular plot stuff. So like I'm hanging on because I know that whenever he decides to do something, it's going to be really cool.
And
But
and I will
I'm still on board.
Yeah, and I will say too, though, at least with his filler, he's still like doing little bits of world building where like they still mention the monsters that are coming for Hulk and all that stuff. It's like I get with it being filler, but it's not the same type of filler because I still feel like we're getting a little bit of the main plot. There's other times where it's like, no, we're doing a cookout
Hmm.
for our friends. Wait, that's
Yep.
My Hero Academia. Sorry.
Yep.
But
All right. So we've got Green Lantern number 10 by Jeremy Adams and Zermanico. Um, Overall, I thought this was pretty neat. There are a couple things I didn't like. And maybe I just don't know enough about the lanterns. Hal seemed like kind of a dumbass in this book.
he does from time to time with Jeremy Adams' writing.
Hmm. Uh, and then I think it's a bit weird that just everyone's here.
Well,
Maybe they're all like drawn here, you know, for something. But
what do you mean, like Kyle, Joe, and Simon?
yeah,
Well, because we had the backup where Joe picked up Kyle, and
right,
then they were on Oa, so we don't really know like prior at the first issue or whatever when it was kind of revealed like, oh yeah, Hal left back for Earth. These guys didn't leave for Earth, so like it kind of makes sense if they think something's up.
right. It's just the way it's written. It's they want it to seem like happenstance, and it's
Oh, I
just
get you.
like it's a lot of happenstance, I think.
See,
But
like I don't,
whatever.
I to me, I didn't get that personally, but I don't know. It just kind of this issue just felt like a lot of like trying to move the plot forward, and they're like doing too much of that because like some of these other like it's just like, oh yeah, we need to move this stuff along, and so like they're just like info dumping a lot in this book in this issue where it's like it's not that necessary to be doing all that, but what do I know?
Yeah. But I liked it well enough. I'll say Zermanico just keeps getting better.
Yep.
Dude is killing it on the art. Um, you know, the scene where Hal jumps down into the shit to fight the manhunters. And
Yeah.
that's just so good.
I will say Simon might be the most useless lantern. Like Joe, like Hal jumps down, does that cool stuff. Joe jumps down, hits two of them, like they're at a disadvantage. So it's like, oh man, Simon jumps down. Ah, I got shot right off the bat. It's like,
Yeah,
come on, dude.
yeah.
Like I
It
get
was
that
it
you're
was
trying to
bad.
trying to get the little girl, but like, come on. That was pretty rough.
Yeah. Um, but yeah. Then we've got a backup That's part of the Guy's Bogus Lobo adventure that Casey and I talked about in the news a while back. It's written by Jeremy Adams with art by Kevin McGuire. I thought this was a very fun backup.
Yeah, it was a fine backup. It didn't like I had much higher hopes for it than what I got. I thought it was gonna be like me guffawing nonstop, and I didn't guffaw once. I just was like, oh yeah, this is fine.
Fair enough. Um, my expectations, like I thought it was going to be great. However, I also kept in mind that I needed low expectations for a backup story because most of them are shit.
Yeah.
This wasn't shit.
No.
So, you know, this issue could have been like a 10 if the main story were better because it's like finally a backup that's not shit.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mind the last couple. Like after this, the Angry Sons or whatever the hell they're calling themselves, the Mean Boys, I think,
Sinister Sons.
the old Mean Boys. Like after those ones went away, I've been enjoying the backups for the most part in this.
I uh I love Kevin's art though. I
Yeah.
mean, this the
Outside of the flat top.
yeah, but that's whatever.
Yeah.
His
That's his personal preference.
he's always been a master at expressions,
Yep.
and that continues here. Also, I thought it was hilarious that one of the wrestlers was dressed like Fred from Scooby-Doo, like to
Yeah.
a T. um, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I'm glad that there's another part and it's not just a one shot backup.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'll give it like a 7.5.
Yeah, I'm feeling a 7.
Yeah, we know, Casey.
Field 7 inches. Okay, Batman and Robin. Joshua Williamson and Nicola Sismessiga. Any idea?
Says Messager, yeah.
Okay.
And then I wanted to point out my flatline variant cover because it's real good.
That is nice. I love the art in this. Like I just want to point out first off this picture. Batman
Yeah,
looks awesome. So
yeah,
cool. But yeah, so we get I mean, I have a feeling this is the one you really, really liked. So how about you just lead the way, man?
yeah, no problem. It's definitely Robin and Flatline heavy-ish. Like it really is kind of split, but maybe I was just more drawn to the Robin stuff. But anyway, Robin and Flatline team up to stop Flatline's sister. Flatline kind of plays Robin because she doesn't want her sister to get in trouble. Um, so we get a little bit of, how Robin feels about the gal he's crushing on doing that to him and whatnot. Um, we finally get to see Man Bat again after what's felt like several issues, but pretty cool fight scene, I think, between Batman, Shush, and Man Bat. Um, I think that so as I've said before, Sismezija did the Sword of Azrael book that I raved about a couple of years ago. I think that this is like even better than that. I think that this is kind of mean to say, but this is like Riley Rossmo, but better, in my opinion. Because their styles really are similar. Or maybe it's just their inking and coloring techniques. But I think
Yeah,
that
I don't really see it if I'm being honest with the Riley
hmm,
personally.
okay, fair enough.
Let us know. Who do you see a little bit of Riley in this art or not?
But yeah, then at the end, Flatline just her and Robin talk about things. He's fine with her sticking around, even after what they went through this issue. And then she is going to help him figure out that the principal is Shush and join his school. So Yeah, I liked it, man. I still think this is what I want in a Batman book. So
Two questions. Do you think it's going to be his teacher that's actually Shush?
no, because they're dwelling on it too much.
Yeah, and then do you think there's going to be a love triangle between the one girl that's like, "Are you talking to yourself?" and Robin, and then Flatline?
No, I don't think it will be. I did think it was weird though that a teacher runs out and is like, "Mr. Wayne, I need to talk to you. It's urgent."
Hmm.
And then he's just like and walks
Yeah,
inside and we have no idea what happens there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's Damien. It's
Yeah.
like this is the silver spoon of Gotham, silver spoon Gotham school. So it's like, yeah, they're probably all douchebags.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I liked it okay. The art's awesome. The story itself, I don't know. It didn't really stick with me. I thought it was fine. I'm probably gonna have an 8 for it. Like it'd probably be my pick of the week, but this was just like a fine week for me, as I have said about
Hmm.
10,000 times.
Yeah. I'm at an 8.5. It's my pick of the week, but I genuinely just liked it. So
Yeah. So I have a funny story really quick to tell you before we talk about what we're excited about, because I forgot to tell you about this with the comic book convention earlier. When I was waiting in line for, ever, there was this dude that was dressed as a Sith, and he had music playing on him, of course, and he was just a Sith. And he had his two lightsabers, and he would just walk back and forth around the line. Like, I want someone to ask for a photo with me so badly. Like, he would just back and forth. He probably walked past us 5 or 6 times while we were waiting in line.
no
N
photo.
no photo.
Maybe he was looking for somebody to duel.
There we go. Like one real Jedi, so that him you could fight him.
Yeah. But
Like
everyone was a bunch of pussies.
what a fucking dork. All right. So what are you excited for though, man?
I don't think it's a very big week for me personally.
Really?
Um, I'll get a little wacky. I'm gonna say Nightwing. Let's
Oh,
see, let's see how Tommy T's final arc starts off.
yeah.
I'll do the Roxxon presents Thor, and then hmm, gosh, I don't know, man. It really is just a pretty light ass week for me.
Hmm.
Maybe Jay Garrick, but only because like that's one of the few. Oh no, I'll say Batman Off World because
Okay.
I like that book, and it's been like 3 months since an issue of that came out.
Yeah. So for me, it's going to be Ghost Rider Final Vengeance, Giant Size Hulk #1, and Green Lantern War Journal. It's pretty light for me too, and these are like back to back in the email. So I'm like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So your birthday's you're going to be a birthday boy here in a little bit. You're going to sit back and, be an old man, way older than me. So I was just thinking, what would be the four worst characters to celebrate birthdays of?
So you know how Nick said Deadpool would be like the best man because he would know
Yeah.
how to throw a party. I'm such like the opposite end of the spectrum with that. I would not want to be with Deadpool on a
Yeah. No, I
birthday
get that. I get
because
that.
someone would get hurt or get killed or get arrested. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
um, I'll say the Blob. Let's say you're really good friends with the Blob and he's like, let's go out for dinner for my birthday. And you're just there for like 6 hours because he won't stop eating.
Okay. So funny story time. When
Okay.
I was in college, it was our friend or my, not
I already know
our,
who this is about.
yes, a friend of ours birthday. And so me, Luke, I think Chase might have been there, and then our friend Josh, before he lived with us, was like, ah, it's birthday, let's go out and eat, and so we went to, I think, fucking Applebee's or something. Josh ordered like because I was like, yeah, I'll buy his meal because it's his birthday. He fucking ordered two entrees. And so like me, Chase, and Luke just all kind of looked at each other. And then like when the lady comes out, she's like, "Oh, I have, five plates, but there's four people." And John's like, "Oh, you can sit there right here." So that's become an ongoing joke where like anytime we're ordering food, like if the few times I hang out with them, Luke will be like, "Oh, you can sit there right here."
Did he eat all of it?
I think so. Or
Nice.
he might have got some to in a little bit of a doggy bag. But then like
Right.
I was like, "Hey, waitress, do you?" This was one of the funny parts. I was like, "Do you sing happy birthdays? Because it's my boy's birthday." And she's like, "No, but I got an idea." Somehow she got a couple balloons and then like a fucking like the filter, coffee filter, put two holes in it, ran the balloons through it, put it on his head. It was his little party hat.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, "You're awesome, waitress."
You give her a good tip. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. Okay, two other characters. Two other characters. I almost feel like Captain Marvel, Captain Bland, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, no,
It's
I
like,
get
hey,
that.
we're all getting together for Captain Marvel's birthday. It's like, fuck. Like I
Yeah.
have to go because we're friends, but I just know I'm not gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
And let's see. Arcade. I know he comes up a lot, but he's like, I want to go to the arcade for my birthday. And then you go and he puts you into one of his fucked up games and then you die.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
So there you go.
Nice. So for me, I'm gonna say Professor X. Yeah, you work really hard. You get him like, fucking wheelies or heelys, I mean. And he's just like, he already knows it's coming. He's read your mind as soon as you walk in. So that's too bad. That was also a callback to a, you know, podcast years ago. So yeah, that would suck. I think Black Bull, I usually mention him anytime there's something because it's just like,
Blow out your candles.
yeah, it's like blow out your candles, or he's just like, he like you either have one of two things where you're like you get him this gift that's really thoughtful and he's just gonna, he'll just like because he can't thank you, or he thanks you and you're fucking dead. Either way, you're left like kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
Superman, because and it's not because it's like, what do you get the man who has everything, but canon from the DC animated universe, he's a peaker. You have to wrap that in lead for him for him not to be peaking.
Hmm.
And then I'm gonna say Toad just because he's fucking weird looking. I don't want to go to a Toad party.
You know, it'd be really funny though if they did like in Letterkenny's super soft birthday, but for Toad.
Yeah.
So it's just like a vortex of weird shit
I
happening.
would I would love I just love now in my head, I just love the thought of like Toad and Wolverine being best friends and like Toad does something and he's like, "I wish you weren't so fucking awkward, bud."
Absolutely. All right. I think that's the end of the episode, huh?
Yeah, let us know about who you would not want to celebrate's birthday.
All right, folks, if you would, head on over to facebook.com/Two Worlds Podcast and give the page a like. You can also follow us on Twitter at two_worlds_PC and on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod. You can email us at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, head on over to YouTube. We are Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube and subscribe to the channel.
And probably like I know on our Twitter, and we'll probably do it for our Instagram and the YouTubes and stuff, but we'll have that affiliate link if you guys want any Super 7 stuff. Let us know down below, you know, what color underwear you're wearing. And have you ever bought two entrees?
And you know, we'd love to stay in chat, but I have to go electrocute Casey. Bye, guys.
It's sexual. Bye, guys.